So we set off to the Pilbara, Western Australia. We had our South Australian and Northern Territory border passes, and because we had planned to travel along the Gary Junction Road, we also needed 3 permits to travel through Aboriginal land. This first campsite, it's very cold, and especially being in a top tent, and so in the morning it's an early start and get onto it, try to get north as soon as possible. We're a couple of 100 kilometres from Cooktown. Yeah, we found this lovely spot just behind the sand dunes, just off the main highway. Lovely place to stay for the night, but still very cold. Before we got to South Australia, there was still a little bit of doubt if our permit was okay or not. But when we got there, the police said, well, the South Australian government had opened up the borders anyway, so there was no problem. So that was all good. There's a national park just before Alice Springs, so we decided we'd camp there overnight. A very lovely place. We kept going up through the dry riverbed and found this particular spot. All was going well, but by the time we got to Alice Springs, COVID had hit Darwin. So because the threat of Western Australia closing its borders and the possibility of having to do some sort of quarantining, we decided to change our plans and head east to Queensland and have a Cape York adventure. So now we're making our way to Queensland as quickly as possible along the Plenty Highway. But at night time it is unbearably freezing. So we need to try to head north as quick as we can as well. The Plenty Highway is pretty good, but it's pretty good in terms of heading east very quickly, but it is rough in some spots. So this is the Plenty Road. We've stopped to let out more air. The car's, it'll be 3.5 tonne plus. Go down to 30 at rear and 20 at front. See what that's like. Just let the tyres down, softer. So rear was 30, front 20. We were thinking of turning left off the Plenty Highway and travel along the Sandover Highway. We decided no, we'd continue along the Plenty Highway right up to very close to the Queensland border, and then turn left up this track towards a town called Daintree. Across the border for good. This track here comes up from Plenty Highway to Mount Isa, and it actually crosses the border, comes back, sort of follows the border up. Now it's just gone through the proper border crossing. Yeah, Daintree's just a small community. It does have fuel there, but we really just wanted some water. We met a lovely lady in the store there, Pam, and got talking to her about various things. And she was just going to give us some free soft drink, but we were going to pay for it. She was very kind in letting us have some of her water. We pulled in to get the water just around the side of the shop there, and there was all these little Aboriginal kids just wandering around everywhere. Very, very funny.
Just like
A little further along the road, we stopped at a dry riverbed. It's Toby's Creek, and thankfully we finally got some warmer weather. Still heading north, the tracks around here were sometimes very bad, and we ended up in some farmer's paddock.
that looks really clean.
Anyway, we decided to pinch some of the cow's water and fill up our washing machine bag. This is a great way of doing your laundry, and just let the jiggling of the car do the work. So thanks to Mr. Farmer and his cows. Travelling on a very remote cattle type track from Urangi to Camberwell. Definitely not a tourist track, but interesting in that there's nothing here. And Julie's driving. The road is pretty good. We're travelling, well, anything from 60, we're going about 80 now. 60 to 70, 80k. But you've got to watch the grids. You've got to slow right down for them. We stopped along the roadside here to have lunch. There's all these dead carcasses of cows around, and there were cow yards close by, and we figured that when an animal died they just came over here and shoved them into a pile.
What are they doing?
Well, I reckon they're just causing commotion.
Oh.
So they can pick one out. Just before Camberwell, we stumbled across this great little place that had these sinkholes.
What can you see?
Darkness. Woo! Splash. Wow.
Wow, that is big, isn't it? Amazing. Whoa. Slow, continually dissolving and evolving the shape of the cave. There's pythons, frogs and invertebrates and fungi all survive in the cave's depths. Ghost bats live here too.
Oh, look at that. Look at that. It's got a dragonfly. Feeding it to death.
Don't slip over. It looks like it's really slippery.
This is clean. The penis and the anus, the vaginus. I don't have a vaginus. Pristine water that has most likely huge quantities of cow saliva. And mine.
That's a great idea, Joel.
I mean, how civilised is that?
It is definitely the land of the cow out here. Just thousands upon thousands of cows. This particular billabong we're here was a place where they all came down to drink and then clear off back out into the nowhere. This is a view from our top tent. It's a nice view to wake up with in the morning. These stones are something that Julie was collecting. She reckons that they're Aboriginal spearheads. So I was in doubt. These supposed spearhead stones, they were all over the place. But apparently she was right. So we've just come along a track from Camberwell up towards Burke. Along the way there's a national park called Lawn Hill National Park. We actually wanted to come up a dirt road from Carrawhill, but that was closed due to flooding, and we were told on the phone by the Queensland traffic people that this track was also closed, and I think it probably was. But as we passed by on the Barkly Highway, we noticed that there was no closed sign there, so we thought we'd take a gamble and come up. We're pretty sure we can get through. The track, a lot of it was so far a very good bitumen road, and there was just a few K back there that we've found. Yeah, it was just a gravel road, and it's pretty good. Some parts are a little bit hairy, going into river crossings, etc. You just have to slow down for them. Got a nice little river called Thornton River. It's just a dry river. Yeah, we're just packing up. Okay, we just stopped on this road to Lawn Hill National Park, and we've dropped the tyres down now to 20 at the front, 30 at the back. Sections of this track are pretty rough, sections are very corrugated. We got to watch the dips where the water courses are, they can get you unstuck. So we're just going up this access track, a maintenance track, up to a pylon. Thought we might better get a good view up this hill here. Just in 4-wheel drive. I might put my rear lockers on. This is all the Riversley area. Yeah, we stopped at Gregory River and had a bit of splash around. Absolutely beautiful place.
Is it cold?
Let's go.
We're going in. Mate, this is great.
It's just beautiful. The bees seem to want to attack you.
Then we moved on to further north to the Riversley fossils and explored around there.
So is this all just pretend?
Unsure. Along there you can see evidence of gigantic birds and crocodiles that used to live around there. We met the ranger there. He was telling us, along with other people as well, that Lord Hill National Park is very, very popular and can be very busy. And of course we had no idea about that. We were just sort of stumbling up our way up. So we decided that we would camp just before it to get there early in the morning, which we did do. We got there at 8 o'clock in the morning and that was a good idea.
No frogs.
No, plenty of crickets.
This is the road coming into Lawn Hill. Quite a lovely area. The road that's immediately going into the national park looks like it had just been made. So quite a nice bitumen road. This is Lawn Hill National Park, an absolutely spectacular place to visit.
Hey, it's warm. It's warm.
Arrest that woman. And it's an amazing place. We were coming up some very lonely, deserty, arid type tracks, and then you stumble onto this oasis. So we got there at 8 o'clock in the morning, and you know, there's not many people around at all at that time.
Oh, this is nice. Get your orange water. And guess who's here? Who's here? Woo!
It's very popular for kayaks, so when the kayaks get to this dead end, they use this ramp to haul their kayak up and over into the next river system. There's plenty of walks to do and of course swimming, and you get into these lush areas to explore, and really you probably need half a day at least, if not more. I mean, we would definitely go back again, even though it is busy.
so just a little bit.
It was getting pretty busy, and as you can see by the car park, how busy it did get.